Joining us now with stories trending around the world is Oba. Good morning, Oji.
Good morning, Dr. Mati. How are you this morning?
Good morning. You are quite early today.
Yes, we have a live. I believe Igue is speaking to Nigerians again. So we have that at 10 o'clock. Good morning, Ayo. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great.
Good morning, Rufi on fire.
Morning.
Right, all right, let's get into this. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending in Edo State, where a shocking video showing the assault of veteran Nollywood filmmaker Don Pedro Obaseki has generated mixed reactions on social media. The filmmaker, who is a cousin of former Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, was attacked and paraded through Benin City over allegations that he insulted the Oba of Benin. Don Pedro had used the phrase Edo Oba+Eyo to salute a gathering of Edo people in London instead of the traditional Oba+Eyo in respect to the king. Well, upon his return to Edo State, thugs loyal to the palace apprehended him and stripped him to his boxers, then paraded him approximately 5 kilometers to the palace gates to apologize to the king. Let's take a look. This is shocking. Well, reactions online have been divided, with some citing Benin customs against disrespecting the Oba, while human rights lawyer Inibehe Effiong condemned the attack as thuggery. And I'll read Inibehe Effiong's post on X. He wrote, "We now live in a country where someone is publicly stripped, paraded publicly, forced to kneel and apologize publicly in front of a palace because he insulted the king. The Oba of Benin is a revered king. He has a responsibility to uphold the sanctity of not only his throne, but the dignity of his people, including the dignity of those who disagree with him or offend him. Humiliating a citizen in this manner does not bring glory to the palace or the king. It diminishes the prestige of the Oba and his throne. We should not allow thuggery to define the very respected crown of the Oba of Benin. If the Oba does not disavow this crude and primitive action, it will send a wrong and dangerous message. I do not know Don Pedro Obaseki. I'm not familiar with whatever he may have said or done that offended some people. I don't care about the underlying politics, but no citizen should be humiliated in this manner. The police has a responsibility to act in this case. The culprits should be dealt with according to the law." Well, as for the Oba's side, he said not to have ordered the action, with one of the palace chiefs stating that the Oba was at Holy Arusa Church attending a Thanksgiving service to mark the end of the annual Eyo Festival. The chief also urged the youths in the mob to avoid causing any trouble. The chief stated that we don't want any disturbance, adding that if anyone considers himself an enemy of the Oba, he should be left alone because time will reveal the outcome. Well, later on that Sunday evening, Obaseki, Don Pedro, released a video where he narrated how he was abducted, beaten by thugs, and stripped.
I'm an Obaseki, and this is not a beating of Pedro. It's as if there is a deliberate war against anybody who bears the name of Obaseki, and maybe I was the first victim in the line. But this must stop. So I'm going to press charges. I'm going to seek legal recompense. I don't understand this. My children are traumatized, my family, my wife, my siblings. For me, who has elevated the culture of the Benin race in my 35 to 40 years as the pioneer of the present Nollywood, okay, Edo ya talk me, Oba ya talk me, because he's cybernetic. There is no king without subjects. Thank you.
Right, Eyo, I'm coming to you on the story. I believe, I read that the police had detained him for a couple of hours. In that same video, which he, shared with Arise News, he had commended the Commissioner of Police for his, action and intervention and releasing him at that moment. But I mean, I don't really understand how this can happen in our society. You were speaking so highly of Don Pedro Obaseki just moments ago. A very notable filmmaker. Everybody knows who he is. Look at how they turned him into some sort of, I was so shocked when I saw this video. Really offended by it.
Everyone should be shocked. Everyone should be offended because it could happen to anybody.
Yes.
It could have been anyone if we're not Don Pedro Obaseki. What we're seeing is what can be described to or ascribed to as a state of anarchy, where citizens take matters into their own hands and tantamount to jungle justice with regards to, because of the fact that he made a statement that the people didn't agree with, and so they retaliated with a public show of shame, and the police detained him. I'm surprised because I'm wondering who the police ought to have detained. Should it not have been these tyrants, this young people, or this mob who had degraded him, humiliated him, just put him in this kind of situation? And then we see that, in fairness to the Commissioner of Police in Edo State, Pedro Obaseki had said that while he was detained, he came to intervene to ask what happened, and then afterwards asked for him to be released. However, the silence of the governor is quite deafening. Mm-hmm. It's loud. We haven't heard anything from him. According to the Oba's Palace, who is a revered monarch in Benin City in Edo State, he said that it was, his supporters. The Oba didn't have a hand in this. But I do think that this should be condemned from the highest level because it sends a signal. And don't forget that it's not just the citizens we're talking about. We keep talking about investor confidence. We keep talking about perception. We keep talking about how people see things, how seriously people take our justice system, security or insecurity in the country. This does not speak well for security, for democracy in the nation, and for the process of justice in Nigeria. I believe he has said that he might sue. I hope he does.
Yes, that's what he said.
But even beyond that is that an investigation ought to be instituted, and everyone who is culpable should be brought to book based on this, because like I said, and I emphasize this, it's Don Pedro Obaseki today. If this state of anarchy continues, it can be you, it can be me, it can be anybody at all, and this should not be allowed to happen.
All right, well, I know that everybody wants to speak on this story, so please a minute each, because the producer has cut my time, so go ahead.
That's why election matters. I will be surprised if the people that went to beat Don Pedro are brought to book. There are higher authorities that are in their favor. We see their faces. As at this morning, if the governor has not stepped in or ordered arrests, then there's a level of complicity in the state. Third point, Edo has become the home for barbarity under this administration. Was it not how they behaved when they were opening the Benin Museum, the Moa Museum, that they went there, disrupted where international people were there, international investors? It has become the home for barbarity. We saw the faces of those that abducted Don Pedro.
Yes,
if nobody picks up those people and they are in police custody today and they are cooling off their heels in police custody, then Edo is, I'm sorry, should I use the word, finished with barbarity. Let's keep deceiving ourselves.
I read one of the comments, someone saying that every time bad news from Edo State.
As usual, now elections matter. Elections matter. Let's be careful.
I'll make my points very quickly. One, justice for Don Pedro Obaseki.
Yes.
Nobody deserves to be treated in this manner in a free country. Two, he did not insult the Oba. He said, long live the Edo people, long live the Oba of Benin. How does that constitute an offense?
I think they said he only said, long live the Edo.
No, I watched the video. He said both.
The second time was he didn't say it at the gathering in London. That's the issue, yes. Well, he didn't say it at the gathering.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, even if he didn't, he has the freedom of expression. What is wrong in saying long live the Edo people?
That's what he said.
After all, we say long live Nigeria. We don't say long live the president. Now, 3, I think it's important that he himself made the point that the chiefs handled the matter very well. And it was clear to him that, these were thugs doing their thing. It was not the Oba of Benin sending anybody to go and harass anybody. Number 4 is that, look, this matter should be looked into. And he also praised the Commissioner of Police that he handled the matter well, and it was the Commissioner of Police that released him. 5, his security should be guaranteed.
All right.
6, Edo State should not become a place for thugs.
It is already.
The governor of Edo State must, look into this matter and ensure the protection of Don Pedro Obaseki.
All right.
Finally, I give a teacher's testimonial. I taught his class in 1985-86, Western Drama, at the University of Benin, Ekenwa campus. And he was one of our good students. He was very responsible, diligent, and he proved it subsequently by excelling in later life. He not only got a PhD, he became a major filmmaker, one of the pioneers of Nollywood.
All right.
He's also a playwright, author of Azagidi, Obaseki, and Igue. One of the icons of the Edo Kingdom who has tried to put Edo Kingdom on the map with his talent and creativity.
Very good.
He does not deserve to be treated in this manner.
Well said. Justice for Don Pedro Obaseki. Well, in Lagos, the city came alive over the weekend as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu joined thousands of residents for the grand finale of the Eyo Festival. At the Tafawa Balewa Square, the colorful celebration marked the return of the traditional parade after an 8-year break. The festival, which dates back to 1854, honored 4 distinguished Lagosians this year, including the president's late mother, Alhaja Abibatu Mogaji, former governors Mobolaji Johnson, Lateef Jakonde, and Sir Michael Otedola. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu called the celebration a cultural homecoming for the president. Let's take a look. Congratulations to Lagosians. This was a beautiful festival. Well, the beautiful Eyo Festival was marred by violence that erupted after hoodlums masquerading as Eyo participants were seen in several videos assaulting residents. In one particularly alarming video sequence, one of the hoodlums is seen wielding what appears to be a firearm, prompting panic among bystanders. Let's take a look. incident has sparked outrage online, with many condemning the violence and questioning security arrangements at the festival. Some social media users have revived discussions about the controversial 2023 film, Gangs of Lagos, which depicted Eyo masquerades as gang members, a portrayal that triggered widespread backlash from cultural custodians at the time. Well, as of now, neither the police nor the state government have issued, statements confirming any arrests directly addressing, particularly that gun footage that we saw. Now, this is Gangs of Lagos. I know, if you remember, there was some controversy surrounding the depiction of, the Eyo masquerade as a thug or as a gang member. And there you see, live and direct in Lagos State, these hoodlums masquerading themselves as, this revered Eyo masquerades, wielding guns and disrupting such a beautiful festival. Dr. Bati, I guess I'll come to you quickly because you have the history. And
quick things.
Just move.
Now, the Gangs of Lagos film, all of that is about censorship, artistic freedom. That scene that you showed, that Eyo masquerade, I was wearing the mask, the cap, the aga of the Adimo, which is the highest level of Eyo. So those who objected may have said, oh, you are desecrating our tradition. But people must always realize that artistic expression is fictional, is different from reality. And when we're talking about art, you have the freedom to exaggerate reality, to expand it, to interpret it, to modify it. But there's a lot of ignorance, even from the censors themselves. But to the specific incident that happened, during this year's Adimo Orisha Festival, I think it was a very successful event. The first one they would do since 2017, 8 years was the last time. They used it to honor distinguished Lagosians, Mobolaji Johnson, Lateef Jakonde, Sir Michael Otedola, and Alaja Abibati Mogaji, persons who deserve to be honored. I think the kind of violence that occurred, should not diminish the importance of it in terms of the iconization of individuals who have been of value to this society, and also in terms of the tourism potential that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu talked about. And then, of course, the support that came from the state government. I think also, Christmas, Dirty December, as they call it. We had Uru Festival in Kwara State. We had Remo Festival, Remo Day in Ogun State. We had the Calabar Carnival. We had, all these events. We had the Eyo in Lagos. Finally, if you look at that picture that you showed,
yes,
the people who were beating the gentleman there, they are from the Laba Ekun. The Laba Ekun, there are 5 Adamu Eyo Orishas.
Okay.
You have the Adimo, which is the highest authority. You have the Okolaba. You have the Ologede. Right. You have the Oniko. You have the Angeri. The Laba, they are the police, the Oba's police, to make sure that when there is a festival, there is order. And if anybody is trying to misbehave, that's why it's only the Laba Ekun that is everywhere.
All right.
So they enforce discipline, they enforce order. So it's important for people not to pull down this festival because of these footages.
Yes, at the end
but of course, when you have a festival, there will be some bastard children who will try to misbehave, and it is the job of the Labaekun to ensure discipline and order.
Bastard children, Dr. Bati, you call them. These hoodlums need to be named, shamed, and arrested. That's really what I want to see. I want to see them named, shamed, and arrested. That beautiful festival.
They will not go to the festival and cause problems.
I mean, that beautiful festival.
There are no illegitimate children in Africa.
No.
But you are the one that used to say that. There are no illegitimate children in Africa.
The contest is different.
There are no illegitimate children in Africa.
The contest is different.
All right. Overall, the festival was beautiful. Yes.
Oba's festival.
Fantastic. They dirtied the dirty December. You know what? At the end of the day, the festival was beautiful, cultural, and congratulations to
from their uniform.
Congratulations to Lagosians. Congratulations to the governor of Lagos State. And of course, Tinubu, who was also made the Okolomo or the Eyo for Eyo as well. Was Eyo, the beautiful Eyo. He said Eyo.
It's Eyo Festival.
He's the one that said it. I'm not Yoruba. The Eyo Festival was beautiful. Congratulations to all Lagosians. Meanwhile, mixed reactions are trailing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's departure to Europe for his end-of-year break before proceeding to Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. Many Nigerians on social media have criticized the timing of the trip, citing the recent attacks in Sokoto and Zamfara states, ongoing economic hardship, and the frequency of the president's foreign travels. However, in a statement on Sunday, the president's special advisor on information, Bayo Ononuga, defended the trip, saying that it includes an official invitation from UAE President His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. According to Ononuga, President Tinubu will participate in the 2026 Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week Summit in early January, which brings together world leaders to discuss sustainable development and climate action. The president was seen off at the presidential wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos by senior government officials. I'll take a reaction, Ayo, before I come to you. This is from David, who wrote, today, Tinubu traveled out of Nigeria to Europe for the holidays. From there, he will travel to Abu Dhabi to continue his self-impressing tourism. Only 3 days ago, the U.S. military attacked terrorists in Sokoto, and yesterday, terrorists retaliated by attacking some communities in Zamfara state. Nigeria is facing many challenges, yet Tinubu, the supposed president of the country, finds the chance and the convenience to Europe for a vacation. The issue isn't merely his show of insensitivity and lack of care for his people and country. It is how the world perceives him and Nigeria. What does he or his handlers feel the U.S. and the countries he'll be touring in the period of wasteful tourism will think of him and the country he governs? And you know, I read that tweet because, you know, those are some of the rhetorics that I saw online. They find it insensitive that he had to travel at this time. The last time there was some sort of, you know, issue with the president traveling, I believe the abduction, he did cancel his travel. So it's quite strange that this is the critical time that we need the president in the country and he's jetting off to Europe. Your thoughts?
We need all boots on ground. We need everyone on the ground. Yes. And that's the truth. He's expressed very rightly the sentiments of a number of people following this announcement. And don't forget, the Abu Dhabi summit is happening from the 11th to the 15th of January. So we're not expecting the president back until halfway into the year 2026. There are a number of critical issues that are still hanging in the air. In addition to insecurity, there's the issue around the tax laws, which is meant to take effect or come into effect on the 1st of January. There are a number of things that are still, that require critical attention. Some people have said, if you use it in layman's terms, if your house is on fire, that's not the time to begin to go on annual leave, because some might argue that he has a right to annual leave just like every worker. But I think in terms of the optics and the signaling, it doesn't speak very right. And I think also in the interest of transparency and accountability, let's really understand this trip. Many people already have said he's going to France, but let's understand really what is really going on, and the president should stay more at home in 2026.
Rufai, please, I'd like for you to talk about the president's leave, because this is such, a critical moment in our nation.
No, but Oji, you see, when we talk, they say we talk, but we have to talk.
Yeah.
The president has gone to his second home. In fact, I don't even know the president's home now, Lagos and Paris, because I think Paris is as important to him as Lagos, or France is as important to him as Lagos. Maybe with this now, maybe we also need to organize festivals like Eyo in Paris, so that, he has a best of both worlds. No, Parisian Eyo. Secondly, this is at a time where there are many contentious issues on ground. The tax thing is one of them. You see, it's an aberration what democracy has become, that the contentious matter on taxation is going on, that an harmonized copy was said to be different from the gazetted copy. National Assembly is looking at it. The only last thing we heard the president do was to meet with the dramatist personality and say, okay, well, you're going to go on with the law. So is it that we Nigerians don't even matter? That we are fools in all of this? We don't even deserve to be talked to. We don't even deserve for clarity to come. And I see some people trying to butter the matter up. It's a big deal. a law where that fails the integrity test is no law. It's not to do with making laws in this country. Why were we talking about budget padding? It's not a case of another party. Until date, the National Assembly just goes ahead to say that, oh, let us regazette.
All right.
They should release the harmonized copy. That's one of it.
All right.
Secondly, with the biting pain and pangs in the country, the president is off again. You said 15, Dhabi? So he's going to probably going to be there for another 2 weeks. And the question is, when we ask, now what has he gone there to do? They will give us all sorts of excuse and everything. You see, I keep telling Nigerians, elections matter. This is what you voted for. Do we need a president that goes almost, that the country is not even conducive for him to say he's going to France almost every time? Mm-hmm. Or we need a president that stays at home, that feels the people, that has empathy for the people?
All right, I wish...
we are running.
Yeah.
We are running a joke.
Yeah. All right, I wish we had a lot of time on the show. The good thing about what happened over the weekend was the inauguration of 7,000 forest guards, which I think we need in our country at this moment. All right, let's now take our final story. Under entertainment. Over the weekend, Grammy Award-winning artist Burna Boy electrified the crowd at the 2025 edition of the Warri Again show. The event, which took place at the Echo Convention Center and organized by Amaju Melvin Pinnick, was packed with performances from artists across Afrobeats, rap, and comedy. Burna Boy performed some of his biggest hits, including Laho, with Afrobeat sensation Charlie Poppy. Let's take a look.
Let's go. Softly, no go tear my singlet. No, they joke with my percentage. No go give to Caesar. What belongs to Odogu? What did he see? The money over their love. Money no like cho. Oh, only mo fi gazo. All in no man abroad. Hey, massa, bamo. There is the chance you for your tongue. Hey, kumete. Keep the stars out. As I make down. Hey, kumete. Keep the stars out. As I make down. One time. Yeah. Let's go. One more time, let's go. Desperado. My people, let me hear you. The ladies taking me photo. Sing it on. Check. Don't tell me. So I go wait. Nipa stasa. As I make track.
Dirty December is wrapping up. Warri Again is a flagship yearly show typically held in Warri, Delta State, but this time it's in Lagos. It's been running since 2013, but what started as a local event celebrating entertainers from Warri has grown to becoming one of Nigeria's most anticipated events worldwide. You know how I love to end the show on entertainment, but congratulations to Amaju Melvin Pinnick, who's been running the show. We had all of these artists together in one room. Really exciting. I know you're trying to find out if I attended. I didn't. I cannot afford it anyway. But congratulations to all our Afrobeat stars. On that note, I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys. On What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Let's go. Softly, no go tear my singlet. No, they joke with my percentage. No go give to Caesar. What belongs to Odogu? What did he see? The money over their love. Money no like cho. Oh, only mo fi gazo. All in no man abroad. Hey, massa, bamo. There is the chance you for your tongue. Hey, kumete. Keep the stars out.